shen instead of ren shen, which usually does the job, because if I'm having ren shen every day, I would really get like nosebleed or something, you know, because I'm already like a strong girl. But in a way, I need a little help, because I sometimes feel heavy, like a whole body heaviness, because I don't know, like, you know, in today's world, nobody is like, you know, saying, oh, I'm like full of energy and don't have coffee. And well, maybe there are people who like exercise that much, but for me, I believe that if I have 补中益气汤, it really helped to raise my qi, and I wouldn't feel like I'm still tired in the morning after I've had like 8 or 9 hours of sleep. But we'll see. So baizhu strengthens the spleen and dries them. And I have this really disturbing name that people call me Lucy Tissue at school, because I always had a tissue box with me. And not only because I had running nose all the time, like I think I was just telling people that I'm really allergic to school. Like if I go to school, I get this, like, you know, running nose, because it's part of the allergies. But I live in Vancouver. Vancouver is a really damp place. It rains like all the time. But I heard that the summer is really beautiful, but I've never stayed in Vancouver in the summer, so I have no idea. I always go back to Beijing, China, which is my hometown, where my grandmother is. I love my grandmother, and yeah, I go visit her for the summer break, and I spend a lot of time there in the hot, polluted, crowded city, Beijing. But this is the place that I'm from, and I'm very proud of Beijing. I have been writing a lot of, not writing, but like sort of reading for Chinese history, and Beijing has been the very important city for Chinese history. Anyhow, so where are we? 人参, and then 白术 strengthens spleen, dries damp, and then 炙甘草 strengthens the spleen, warm needle gel. 炙甘草 is like a honey processed 甘草. I can tell you very interesting to remember 甘草. I'm pretty sure that you will never ever get this wrong for the rest of your life. So I am best friends with a Persian girl. She's beautiful. Like I call her like princess, because she's just like as pretty as princess and Persian princess. If you have ever seen the movie 300, you know what I'm talking about. Persian beautiful girl. And well, she did not learn pinyin, and she doesn't know Chinese. So when she started asking me, do you know about gang cow? So I had no idea what she was talking about, and I'm like, what kind of cow are we talking about? Is it like a real one, or is it like a couch kind of thing? But it turns out she was talking about 甘草, C-A-O in Chinese. In pinyin it's 吃熬草, which is the third tone. Yeah, so gang cow. I was telling her, like, you know, you're the Persian version of Kim Kardashian. Maybe one day you should open a store named Gang Cow so that we can just make fun of it. I'm like, well, so anyhow, so I'm sure it's very difficult for people who speak other language to learn the Chinese language. Even just, you know, like pinyin characters. So if you're interested in Chinese medicine, good for you. Anyhow, next is the assistant herbs, which is dong gui, which nourish the blood, and chen pi, it's regulate qi, harmonize the stomach. Later on, in the next video or so, I will talk about er chen tang, which is chen pi. It's one of the king herbs, which is a very, like, you know, orange peel that, you know, we Chinese people can use every part of the thing that, like, we eat the orange and we plant the seed and we dry the peel, and then we use it as herb. So everything has to be used. Nothing gets wasted. This is what happens when you have 5,000 years of history. Basically, you have to use every part of everything. So the envoy is Shengma and Chaihu. Shengma, that's the function of raising spleen qi and counter prolapse. And Chaihu is also a rising spleen qi herb that also, I don't know if that's right. Chaihu, I thought was for, like, we just learned the xiao yao san, right? xiao yao san. So, the function of Zhong Yi Qi Tang, as I said, tonify the qi, strengthen the spleen, and relieve fatigue, and raises yang and counter prolapse. So all these are really good function. Like if we have really uprise qi, so the good qi comes up to our head. Maybe the tallest point is 百会, do 20. So this is basically 补中益气汤 in acupuncture. So usually when you see like people with a needle on the top of their head, they're probably trying to raise up the qi. If you tap the top of your head, maybe just not like with like really big force. You can feel, and then maybe you get smart because the good qi comes up to the head and helps the brain. So, so the indication. So, what kind of symptoms do you want to use 补中益气汤? And the spleen and stomach qi deficiency with symptoms such as fatigue, headache, soft or loose stool, poor appetite, pale complexion, spontaneous sweating, thirst with desire to drink warm water, shortness of breath, SOB. Tongue is pale, swollen with teeth mark and white coating, and spleen qi sinking, which is prolapse syndromes, like I said, pulling down sensation. So prolapse uterus for girls, and some other people who wants to have a uterus, and vagina, rectum, chronic diarrhea, incontinence or bleeding due to spleen qi not holding blood in the vessels. So in Chinese medicine, spleen is the place where blood is produced. So after you eat, spleen transform the essence of the food and the qi into blood, and then it's stored in the liver. So basically, for some people, after they eat, they feel sleepy. That's basically a spleen qi deficiency time, and 补中益气汤will really help. And I read it somewhere that saying that 补中益气汤actually works better taken before you eat your meal. I don't know. I just take it whenever I can remember, because taking herbs is like still like one more thing that you have to do. So just take it and just see if it helps. If it doesn't, I'm pretty sure they're really safe formulas. So 补中益气汤 and 逍遥散, and maybe 龙胆泻根汤, I wouldn't recommend that you take it for a long time, because it would really drain off the fire. But with the fire is also your yang qi. Most people, if you stick out your tongue, you see these strawberry prickles in the front or on the whole body of the tongue. That means you have fire. I'm very sorry to hear that. Like when you stick your tongue to see. Well, what I do is usually when I'm driving, so I would put on my lipstick and everything, like the mirror, like right on the like it just makes you look so much better than you actually are. That's why when you take a selfie, you're always like trying to get that angle. But when I stick out my tongue, I'm not so happy. There's so many red spots on them. and that means fire. So I usually take 龙胆泻根汤. So, well, I hope you like my video. Thanks for watching. Bye.